everybody. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. Tonight, we are going to try to make 3 projects. And we'll be using paper pumpkin. Let's see if we can get the live up. On my page here. This is not working properly. Oh, come on, Facebook, did you change stuff again? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's open notifications. Let's see. Come on. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna... It's not letting me see my video. I gotta view as visitor. Jeez Louise. Okay, is it gonna show me? There we go. Now I can see. Hello, Laura. Let's give it a few minutes and see who else comes on. All right. Hi, Tracy. Welcome, ladies. And welcome to those of you who might be watching on the replay. I appreciate you joining me. We are going to be making a paper pumpkin alternative from the January Sending Hearts paper pumpkin. We'll also be using the Snailed It stamp set. And in addition, we will be using Berry Blessings, which is a free stamp set that you can earn during celebration. And that goes through the end of February till February 28th, 2021. And you can get this and some matching Very Delightful paper together in a bundle with a qualifying purchase of $100 or more. And this is the paper that is the Very Delightful paper that goes along with Berry Blessings and also coordinates with the Sweet Strawberry bundle, which is in the January to June 2021 mini. Okay, so Jennifer, good evening. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to jump right in with our first card, and it's going to be using paper pumpkin. And we will also be using the Snailed It stamp set. They do coordinate quite well together. So when you get your paper pumpkin, this is a monthly subscription kit. For those of you who don't know, comes with everything that you need in the kit. Comes with an ink spot, Stampin' Dimensionals. It comes with a project sheet that gives you detailed instructions on how to put the cards together. This is a promotion for the paper pumpkin add-on that you can get in the online store. If you're a paper pumpkin subscriber, this month we've got a whole bolt of this thin black ribbon. You always get a stamp set which is exclusive to paper pumpkin. You won't find these stamps anywhere else. This month's kit will make 8 cards for each of 2 designs. So you get all the pieces that you need for that. These little pieces right here are actually from the add-on kit because I've thrown mine in here. And you get all the card bases that you need. And envelopes. Everything that you need to create the cards is in this kit. Okay, so we're going to take some of these pieces from the kit and we are going to make an alternative. Okay, so let me throw these aside because I'm going to use my full side Stampin' Spot. and I have already pulled my pieces from the kit that I need. So we're going to set that aside. And we are going to get started. So we'll be using Poppy Parade ink. And we're going to be using the Snailed It die, or the snail dies. So we're going to cut out a little snail. And I'm going to start with a 5.5 by 8.5 basic black card base. This is not included in the kit. This is an extra that I'm throwing in. Even though the kit says it makes 8 cards for each of 2 designs, you can make them exactly as the kit says, or if you want to stretch your kit, you can make even more. Okay, so we're going to take the envelope layer. We're going to use that. This is half of one of the card bases that came in the kit. And we're going to take this and use it as a layer, and I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5.25 and use it as designer series paper. Okay. So we can go ahead and add, oh, wait a minute, I think I cut this down even further. I think I started at, yep, I think I did. So let's not put that on yet because I think I might need to trim it. All right, so we're going to take one of the little scallop pieces that came in the kit, and we're going to add that to our envelope right here. So I'm just going to run some Stampin' Seal down the edge of my paper here. Grab my silicone mat. And I am going to place this right here along the edge. Okay. Then I'm going to take my Poppy Parade ink and I'm going to get out one of the stamps from the stamp set. I grab a block, which I have clear full of stamps for tonight's projects. And I'm going to ink this up in Poppy Parade. And then I'm going to stamp this down like so. Okay. And that's all we need the Poppy Parade for. I'm going to clean that right away so it doesn't stain my stamp as bad. It will tint the stamp some, and that's perfectly all right. But the least amount I have, the better off I like it. Okay. So we've got that. Now we're going to take and we're going to grab from the Snailed It stamp set. We're going to get the little snail that says you've got mail. And I am going to go ahead and straighten him up on my block. And I'm going to ink him up in Memento Black. Okay. And then I'm just going to set him down here on the bottom. Just like so. And really, at this point, all I want is the You've Got Mail. Okay. Now I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to grab a scrap piece of Whisper White, which I have just laying around here, plenty of pieces here. And I'm going to ink this up again. And I'm going to stamp this down. And this time I want the snail. Am I too low, you guys? I am too low. You can't see. All right, moving up. Okay. So I've got that. Clean this off before I stick my arm in it. I've already, as you can see, I've got some Pacific Point all over my fingers. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to grab some Stampin' Blends. And I want the... let me see. I got to grab these out of another tub. I need light and dark petal pink. And light and dark pool party. And then I need a dark real red marker. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the light petal pink. And we're just going to color the snail's body. Just doing an outline with the bullet tip and then filling in with the brush tip. Then I'm going to grab my dark petal pink and I'm going to, oh, that is not going to work. Let me start over. I had stamped on the back of that and messed it up and it's bleeding through and we cannot have that. So, note to self, you cannot use blends on the back side of something that already has color on it. Because it just makes a mess. All right. Okay. So let's do that again. Light petal pink. All right. Then we're going to switch to the dark petal pink. And I'm just going to go right here along his little shell. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a V in the corner there. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to blend those out with the light. Okay? I'm going to take my dark real red and I'm going to color in the heart. Although I probably should have used Poppy Parade, but it's all right. Nobody will notice. I go around the edge of his shell again with the light. And then fill it in. I can color a little bit faster that way for the video. Then I'm going to take my dark pool party. And again, I'm going to go right along the edge of the shell here. Maybe a little bit along the seam. A little swirly doohickey. And I'm going to go back with my light And I'm going to blend those together. Okay. Now our little snail is done. And he is ready to be cut out. So we'll grab the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to get plate number 1, plate number 2. We're going to grab our snail die. And we're going to put our little snail down here. And you will notice this is not the right snail there. This is the right snail that we need. You will notice that this die does not cut the sentiment. It only cuts the snail. So that's an easy way for you to do your sentiment and then separate it from the body of the snail. And it looks like it slipped. I might have to grab a Post-it note here. One will do. And we will set this in here. Tack that down. Put on our other plate number 2, making sure that I stagger them so they'll pull through the machine. And then I'll put my machine away. And now we have our snail, which is separated from our sentiment. All right. So let's put that away so we don't lose it. I want you to take a look at the dies. This one has several little extra pieces. This will make a mini envelope that you could use on a card. And then this gives you an extra little piece for addressing your envelope or using it as a sentiment cutout. And then this one's pretty cool because this one cuts out a square looking postage stamp. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead now and put our card together. Let's see. Let's get our card base. Let's see if we wish to trim this or if we're just going to go with it. No, that actually looks okay to me today, so I'm not going to trim it. Just going to put this down with some snail. Put it on my card layer, on the base layer. Try and center that up and get it straight. That would be fabulous. And then we'll add that to the front of our card. Again, using some seal. Okay, and if your seal gets stuck, just grab your silicone mat and give it a little push, and it'll get it started again. Must not have tipped my elbow enough there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this on here. Like this. Then the kit came with some epoxy hearts in petal pink in different sizes. We're going to pull those out. Okay, there it is. I'm like, what happened to the little snail? Okay, so I'm going to take this little snail And I'm going to grab the Stampin' Dimensionals. And I could use the dimensionals that are in the kit. I'm going to pull out my regular stash. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. Like so. And I'm going to pop this little snail up right over the top of the other one just to give him some dimension. And then I'm going to take those hearts and my take your pick tool. And I'm going to add a little heart. Let's take a medium heart. We're going to put it on the envelope flap right there. I'm going to grab one of the bigger hearts. Okay, come on. And I think I'm going to put it right here. And then I will grab one of the smallest hearts. And I'm going to put it right up here over this Poppy Parade heart. Okay? And there's the outside of our card. Pretty simple. Not a ton of difference off from the original paper pumpkin example for that card, but we did add this snail. This is what the original is supposed to look like. And we added the snail and changed the sentiment. Okay? So there's a paper pumpkin quick alternative. Now let's see. Put these pieces back so we don't lose them. Yes?
We got ice cream.
Oh, can you put mine in the freezer, please?
Yes, ma'am. You got your medium.
Okay, say hello to everybody.
Hey, guys.
They're bringing me Dairy Queen.
I didn't forget the ice cream this time.
Oh, thanks, Abby Roo, for not forgetting the ice cream. Okay, so for the inside of our card, we're going to, sorry, I need those stamps back. We're going to take our stamp set and we're going to take the sentiment from here that says sending love your way. And I'm going to find a block that will fit that. And we're going to put that on. It is very nice of them to bring me yummy ice cream, isn't it? Suzanne had texted just as I was hitting the live button, or that's when I got it, and I was like, I can't deal with ice cream right now. But they'll put it in the freezer and I'll deal with it later. Okay, so we're gonna stamp the Sending Love Your Way in Poppy Parade. And then we're going to grab those, the little spritz. And
Bye, Grams.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye, guys.
Have a good time. And I'm going to grab the Pool Party ink. And I'm just going to grab a couple, stamp a couple of sprigs right there, like so. Oh, I stuck my finger in that. That's like the 4th time today. Okay, and then we're going to take, there's a little snail in this set, which has where did I put him? He's got to be here because he's not on the sheet. Oh no. Oh, there he is. I need more blocks, you guys. You would think that one complete set plus extras would be enough, but it seems like every time I turn around, I do not have enough blocks, and I'm constantly having to redo them. All right, so we're going to take this little snail. And we're going to stamp him down in the corner. Right here. And then we're going to grab our envelope, which came from the kit. And we're going to stamp him right there on the front. Just like so. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go ahead. I will color him later and put him on the inside of my card, but I don't think you need to watch me color him again. So I'm just going to set this aside and we will move on to the next card. Let me clean these up and I will get them out of the way. Set them aside. And we won't need these again, so I can take those off the blocks and get them back on the stamp set. And then I will have this stamp set from now until forever, if I so choose, to use on any other things that I want for later on. I love this because it has the little XOXO, Be Mine, Hi Valentine. It has the love. And this love right here coordinates with the Forever and Always suite of products in the January to June mini. Okay. So, set all that aside. And that's our first project. So let's move on to project number 2. And we have a lot of coloring on this project. I used a lot of Stampin' Blends. We need inks in Pool Party and Bermuda Bay, as well as the basic black. We're also using the Oso Ombre celebration paper. And this paper is a level 1 paper stack. And it just has the 2 patterns that gradiate from dark to light or light to dark, however you want to look at it. And then, so there's one side that has just the ombre, and then the other side, and then the other paper that you get has circles with the ombre. Okay. So that is free with a $50 purchase through February 28th, if you choose it with your celebration items. We're also using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love these dies. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Glad you liked that card. All right, so quite sure how to get this. I need this stamp and we need this stamp. I can get everything else out of my way. All right, and then I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get my little piece here, but let's get this done first. So we're going to start with the largest stitch scallop from Stitch So Sweetly. And to this, too many Stampin' Blends here, you guys. There's like a ton. They're running all over the place. Okay. Let's get this up so we can see what we did. All right. So we're going to take the Memento Tuxedo Black. And we're going to stamp our mushrooms down. Okay. And then we're going to ink up the snail that looks like he has his little suitcase of packages going. And we're going to do him in Memento Black too. And then we're just going to put him over here. Can you see? Just going to stamp him down right there. Okay. Then we're going to grab Bermuda Bay. We're going to take the little hello. And I'm going to stamp this right up here in the left corner. In Bermuda Bay. All right. Well, let's give those stamps a quick wipe and get them out of the way. So we don't need those again for a while. Okay. I'm going to take our blending brushes. Actually, I think I'm going to color first. And then we'll take our blending brushes. So we're going to take the light and dark Granny Apple Green. And we're going to give these a quick color. The leaves here. Not so worried if I leave some white space. Then I go back with my dark. And I'm just going to give it a little swish up the center. And then I'm just going to swish right over that dark, just to blend it just a little bit. Okay, then I'm also going to take my Granny Apple Green here, and I'm going to color a little along these little grass lines here. And then, let's see, we're going to take the light and dark Real Red. And with the dark Real Red, I'm going to color the spots on my mushroom. Okay. Then I'm going to take my light Real Red and I'm going to go back and fill in my mushroom. I'm going to have to go, I got to go around this with the bullet tip or I'm going to be leaving all this white space that I don't want. Or I'm going to be outside the lines. I find I have more control with the bullet tip. Okay. So that's that. So we've got that. Then we're going to get the light crumb cake. And I'm going to color in all of the stems of the mushrooms. Quick and easy. Okay. I'm going to grab my light and dark Mango Melody. And I'm going to color in my mushroom top up here. Go back with the dark, and I'm just going to swipe around the outside edge just to try and make that look like it's rounded. Whoops. And then I'm going to go back and blend that in. Just that quick. I'm going to take my light and dark daffodil, and I'm going to do the same thing on the smaller one, or the other one down here. And again, just the outside edge, just to give it some roundness. Okay, and that's done. All right. And then I'm going to get our light and dark petal pink and color in our snail body. We're done with those. Get those out of the way. I'm going to start here, color in this, and I'm just going to take a quick run with the bullet tip around the body. Just to kind of contain my color. And then I'm going to go back and fill it in with my brush tip. Grabbing my dark. I'm just going to go along the shell here and put a little V in here. And then I'm going to go back with my light, and I'm going to blend that all in. Okay. All right. So for my shell, I'm going to do the light pool party again. Really need a different light pool party. This one is about shot. I'm going to color in all of this with the light. It's not going to work all that great because my brush tip on my light just is not in great shape. And I've had this pool party quite some time, so I'll go back and fill in that edge. There we go. All right, and again with the dark, I'm going to go along the back side of the shell. And I'm going to go into the circle a little bit here. And then I'm going to blend that in with the light again. Ah. Yeah, Jen, I really like these little snails. I think they're adorable. So now I'm going to go back with the dark Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to color in the stripes on his shell, just to really highlight those. All right. We're going to go in with the light Bermuda Bay. And we're going to color in this bottom package here. The light. And then I'm going to take the dark pool party and I'm I'm going to color the top one just to give us some variation in color here. All right, so that is all of the coloring. That didn't take too long, and I think we're pretty good, but let's hold on to this light granny green in case we need it for some ground. All right, let me move all those pens. Okay, so next we're going to take our, yes, you knew it, the Wink Estella pen. And we are going to put some sparkle on the dots of our mushroom. And then I'm going to clean off my brush because it picked up a little bit of red and I don't want that in my Bermuda Bay. And then I'm going to go back and color in the stripes on the snail with a little bit of glitter. Okay, and oops, I forgot one here. I don't know if you can see that, but it gives it just a little bit of shimmer, just to make it sparkle a little bit. All right, so now that we have that, it looks a little plain at the bottom, I thought. So I took, again, the scallop from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. That's the exact same size as this one. And I took a scrap of Granny Apple Green and I cut out just a small piece. Okay, so I want to make this into grass. But in order to do that, I'm going to grab the Special Day dies. Now this is a set that goes with Special Someone, and it came out last spring, I think. And you could buy the stamp set in the catalog, and then they released it. Oh, it was the Celebration add-on last year. You could buy the dies that went with. Well, now both pieces are in the annual catalog, so you can purchase them in the annual catalog. They are separate and they're not a bundle. But one of the cool things with this set that I love is that you have this grass piece. So we're going to take this and we are going to cut us a piece of grass. So I'm going to try to judge this. I'm going to put this down. Let's see about where I'm at here and about where I think I need to cut. So I don't want to cut too high, but I don't want to cut too low. So I think if I do just about that, that might be okay. Well, and if it's not, it's always paper. We can always grab another one and start over. So we're going to take that. We're going to grab the mini again. And again, our sandwich is 1, 2, and then we're going to put this down. And we're thinking, what? Let's look at this. We need a total of almost ½ of an inch. Okay, so we might need to move that up just a smidge. Then we're going to get that Post-it note. So we don't want this to move. And we're going to put that down. And then we're going to put, oh, we need to move this up so we're actually on the thing here. Okay. Remember, we need to stagger our plates so they'll catch in this machine. Okay, come on. Okay, why are you being stubborn? Something with the way I'm holding this down. Okay, let's put this die at an angle. Let's see if that'll make a difference. Stagger those up. There we go. All right. Okay. So now we have this. And that will fit our piece perfectly, we hope. See, it'll go in there and it looks like we have grass at the bottom. Okay, but before we adhere that was a little too stark white for me. So we're bringing that scratch paper and I'm going to grab the pool party. And I'm going to grab an ink blending brush. Actually, let me grab one of these. Not sure what colors I used on those. So we're going to grab this, rub off on our paper, and then we're just going to give it a swirl so our sky is not so stark white. I'm going to try and stay away from the snail's eyes because I don't want those colored. Notice how I'm starting off my paper and then moving on. Okay, now I've got that. And then I'll grab just a little bit of Granny Apple Green. If I can figure out what I did with it. Down here in this other bin. Okay, where are you hiding, Granny Apple? All right. Now we got the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to grab this brush. And I'm just going to swirl on some green along the bottom there. Okay. All right. So that's that. And we'll set those aside. Now to clean my brushes, just so you'll know how I clean mine, I take these, I grab my chamois, I rub out what I can on my scratch paper, then I rub it across my chamois, which is barely wet. I keep mine fairly dry, and then I take a microfiber cloth and I just clean that off. And I'll do it a couple of times. And then when I go back, I have nothing left and I can use this particular brush for whatever color I want and nothing will transfer. Okay. So there we go. All right. So now we're going to take and adhere this to the bottom of our card. And I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue here. And just stuck my finger in the liquid glue. That's just the kind of day I've been having. Okay. So let's line up our scallops. Put that down. And now we have our grass. And isn't that cute? Ah, Lynette, your surgery went well? I'm glad to hear that. Are you in a lot of pain or do you have a pain blocker? Okay, so now we're going to take and add this. We have a whisper white, thick whisper white, or basic white, as it is now. I still have whisper white, but if you were to purchase it, you would be purchasing basic white. And then we're going to take a piece of the ombre paper, which I thought I cut, and now I can't find. Okay, let me look here, because I was pretty sure I cut that piece. What did I do with it? Okay, well, maybe this is it. Yep, this is it. I put it back in the package. Okay, so I'm just going to take this. And this is a standard A2 card size, 5.5 by 8.5, scored up 4 1/4. And I'm just going to burnish that crease. And then I'm going to add this to our card. And this is the Bermuda Bay ombre. Just going to add this on here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to get some Stampin' Up dimensionals. No saggy center, so I'm going to put 8 on here. Oops. I ended up with a package of Stampin' Dimensionals that have been cut all the way through, and so sometimes when they pull off the paper, I still have backing on there. They don't pull off of the release paper like they should. Okay. So we can go ahead and add this. And I need my third hand here so I can try to center it up. All right. And for the inside of our card, we're going to take another piece of that ombre paper. And we're going to cut this down to 4 inches. By 5 1/4. I'm going to add that to the inside of my paper or my card. A little bit of Stampin' Seal. And then, let's see, what kind of a sentiment do we think we want to put in here? Any suggestions, ladies? Let's grab, I don't know if the Happy Thoughts will work, stamp set. Let's see, where did it go? Some of these are pretty big. Well, this will work. Perfect. I'm going to take this one. This is the Happy Thought stamp set. This is Jackie Bullheis $1 Million Achiever stamp set. And she designed this specifically so that you could take this one stamp set, some designer series paper, and make some beautiful cards if that's all you had. Or you can take this stamp set with some designer series paper maybe, and an image stamp set and make some beautiful cards, and that would be all you would need. Quick, simple, and easy. All right, so we're going to need a bigger block for that. We're going to have to audition this to see how straight I got it. You know what? Let's do this the way I like to do it so I know it's straight on my block. I'm going to put that down using my grid paper. I'm just lining it up along the line at the bottom here. Then I'm going to pick this up, lining the bottom of my block along a line, put it down. I'm going to grab the Bermuda Bay again. And then I'm going to ink this up, tap, tap, tap. Put this on my grid paper. And then I should be able to set that down. Give it a firm, gentle push. Beautiful. All right. And then, let's see, what else do we have in that Snailed It stamp set, which I have no idea where I put it now. You guys would not believe. Well, yes you would. You guys all know. I'm a messy stamper. That's just the way it is. Okay, let's see. If we have a little snail that would go... Nope, I don't think so. All right, we're just going to leave it. Let's take this. Put some Stampin' Seal on there. And put it on the inside just like that. All right. So there's that. All right. So got that. Let's put this away. And go on to our next card, which is a little time consuming. So we are right at an hour. Do you guys want to do the next card, or should I hold it for another day? Let me know what you think. If you're in a hurry to go. This is the envelope to go with that card, by the way. Got that. All right. What are you thinking? Move on to the next card, or are you ready to go? Let me know. Okay, I've got to do the last card, so let's move on. All right, I did do quite a bit of the extra on this one. Some of it just has to be stamped. And okay, so this one features the Berry Blessing. Got quite a few stamp colors. We're going to be doing a lot of stamping. And so here we go. This one uses the Berry Blessings. It's also going to use Snailed It. And in addition, we're pulling in the Stitched with Whimsy dies. Now these particular dies don't actually cut out a rectangle. When you cut them, or when you put them through your die cutting machine, this is what you get. It just cuts the stitching whimsical lines there. So this is a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of white cardstock, basic white cardstock. And then I took the second largest rectangle, this way obviously, and I ran that through my die cutting machine. And then this is what I have left for the piece. These are pretty cool dies for adding a little bit of texture. Okay. So that's the piece that we're going to start with. And we are going to, let's get our scrap paper back so I don't stamp on my desk. And again, this Berry Blessings is the celebration free. We're going to need this. Need my little mask. All right. So we're going to start with Just Jade. And we're going to get the leaf and the other leaf. Let me pick this off of this block. We're going to get these leaves and we're going to stamp them in Just Jade. I'm going to just start up here. And I'm going to turn my leaves a little bit so they don't look uniform. Let's rotate them. I'm kind of staying in that stitching area inside the stitching. Then I'm going to go back with my filler. I'm going to stamp off and I'm going to line that up. I need to make sure you guys can see and stamp that down. And then we're going to line it up again. If you take this point and this point and line them up, you should be pretty good every time. All right, so we have that. Now we can set our Just Jade aside. And we're going to clean those off just because we're going to need those blocks. And I can double those up and get them out of the way. Okay, then we're going to take our raspberries and we're going to grab blocks for those. And we're going to, let's stamp that about right there. I'm just going to get the Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp the outline, put my blackberry right there. I'm going to put another blackberry about right here. And let's see. Let's see if we're going to, I don't know if we'll need any more. Let's go back. We'll take the filler. I'm going to stamp that off. Turn it the right direction. And fill that in. Fill that in. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside for now. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to use, this stamp set has the detailed stem and just a full stem, and I'm just going to use the full stem. And I'm going to do those in Granny Apple Green. Now, what did I do? I made a mask for my raspberry because I'm picky. And I didn't like the way the stem looked. And I'm going to have to, my stem is going to be too long. So let me judge my stem here. How long I need to make that. Okay, I'm just going to ink up. I'm going to take just the edge of my ink pad. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay. And I'm going to look again, and I need to do just about the same thing here. And ink that up and stamp that down. Didn't use my mask, but it's fine. Okay, so now we have that. All right. Now we can clean those up real quick. So we can use those blocks because we're going to need them. And we're going to move over stamps out of the way. Actually, I'm going to need to move this one too. Boop. All right. Now I'm going to take my blueberry stem. I'm going to take this, and I'm only going to ink, partially ink this. I'm going to do this in Garden Green. So again, I don't want to ink this part here, so I'm going to put the edge of my stamp and just set it down there. Tap that down. And then I'm going to mask this. I used a little bit smaller piece of paper than I did with my sample, so I'm just going to put that on there so I don't get on my raspberry. And I'm going to stamp that down. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the filler. I don't want it all. I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to line this up, leaving my mask in place. And that will make it appear when I'm done that my leaf of my blueberries are behind my raspberry. Okay, so I've got that. Now we're going to put our blueberries on. I'm going to add those. We're going to use Pacific Point for that. And again, this is another two-step stamp. So we're going to get our blueberries. And we're going to grab our other blueberry. And I need to find a block to stick that on so I don't drop it and lose it. And then what you guys don't see is that I have like a bigger block up here, and I stick my extras on it so that I don't set them down and then accidentally pick them up on something else and then have a problem later. Okay, so with this particular blueberry stamp, what I'm doing is I've got to line this up, and your two big blueberries line up on the stems, and then the third little blueberry will just kind of sit out there in air. So I'm just going to line that up and stamp it down. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my filler. And I missed a little bit, but that's okay. I can fix that. I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to line that up. And now I've got my blueberries. Okay. All right, so now I'm done with that. And this is what we have so far. Now ahead of time, because this was a little plain for me and I needed a little bit more dimension. Anybody who knows me knows that dimension is important. So ahead of time, I took and cut some extra raspberries and a few more blueberries. And I also pre-cut and colored my snail to save us some time. I did not do the second snail that I need to grab and stamp, and then we'll cut him out. And that again, that little snail is from the paper pumpkin. So we're gonna grab that little snail real quick. I'm gonna throw him on a block. And I stamped my snails in basic gray. Oh yes, I forgot about this too. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of reverse stamping because the snail goes the wrong direction. So I'm gonna take my silicone mat. I'm gonna get all any kick off of it here. Let me wipe that real quick. I need all the fuzz off of it. There we go. Just take my chamois. And then I'm going to take my basic gray. I'm going to stamp up my, can you guys see? Nope. I'm going to ink up my snail. And on my silicone mat, avoiding the Stampin' Up logo, I'm going to stamp my snail down. Right on the silicone mat. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that that's there? All right. I'm gonna move this camera back this way a little bit. All right, then we're gonna take our white cardstock and we're going to lay our cardstock right over the top of that image, and then we're going to rub. We're going to be careful not to move the paper. We're just rubbing to get all the ink to transfer to our paper. Then we're going to carefully lift that up, and now we have our reverse image. Okay? So now, that's why I didn't do that, because I wanted to show you guys how to do the reverse stamping. All right, so now we're going to take our snail, and I kind of looked at this as a little baby snail. So I'm going to take my light flirty flamingo on this guy. I'm going to color him in. The same way I've done my last ones. I'm just going to give a little bit of dark here, little V there, go back and blend that all in, just so I don't have any harsh lines. Okay. Then I'm going to take my light and dark mint macaron, and I'm going to color in in the shell with the light. Go back with the dark. And then take the light and blend it all together so I don't have those harsh lines. Okay. Now I'm going to take the Wink of Stella and I'm going to color in his shell. Then I'm going to quickly cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to rough cut this first so I don't have all that excess paper giving me trouble. And then I'm going to leave a real thin border around the outside, turning my paper with my left hand because I'm right-handed. Give that a little turn to get it how I want it cut. And we are almost done here. And then we can put our card together. All right, because we'll have all the pieces. All right, so let's bring back in that card and all those pieces. And I don't know if I'll need these all, but we have them cut and ready to go. I cut extra leaves. And we need to remove this mask. Okay. So we're going to put another berry there. And let's look at putting a leaf up here. Maybe we'll hang this berry about right there. And then we'll put this leaf up here. Okay. All right, so let's go for that. Let's go ahead and we're just going to put this down with a little bit of snail. Put this one down. I think we'll pop that one up. The Stampin' Dimensional, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. And we're not going to need all of this stem. So we'll take that off. Pop this up here like so. Grab our leaf. And we're going to pop this leaf up. Let's see, we want that going to want to make sure that our dimensionals don't interfere. So we're going to put a little mini up here. Out here more on the tip. Put another one up here. Peel those off. And place that like so. And then here we don't have to worry because we didn't pop up any of those other berries. So we can do this. And this can go right in here like so. I'm going to point that. No, we're just going to put it in just like that. All right. We're going to add our snails. I'm going to put, let's put our little snail down first. It's headed for the blueberry. And then we'll take our bigger snail and we're going to pop this one up. Put that right along there. All right, now we're going to take, and remember how I said we could fix that? I missed that. So we can take another little berry here. And I've already pre-cut out these little extras. And I'm just going to take a glue dot. And add that to our little blueberry there. Pop that right on that stem. Then, let's see. Let's put one more and pop that up on a dimensional. Shall we? And that blueberry will perfectly fit one of the large. And we'll just put that right there. All right. And then we have a few extras left over. So let's move some things out of the way here. We'll finish putting this card together. All right. So we're going to take and add this. I thought we would grab a piece of the Berry Delightful paper. Which pattern do we think we should add? I think maybe we'll use this one. What do you all think? Should we use this one? Oh, you can't even see it. What did I do? Oh, maybe you can see it. I'm just down too far. No, I don't know. That was kind of weird. My paper's showing a big black thing at the top, so I don't really know what all you guys can see. Wow. Not sure how that happened. Do you guys all have a big black thing at the top of your screens? Like I do? Let's see what this is gonna look like. Yep, I think we're just gonna use this piece right here. Cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. This is a piece of that Berry Delightful paper that you get with the Berry Blessing stamp set in a combo. So we're just going to add this onto here, and then we're going to add that to a base of Pacific Point. And I did not put a sentiment on the front of this card. I thought it was busy enough. So I'm going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal. Let's get that silicone mat, because for some reason I must not have rolled my wrist enough. This is the reverse side of that paper, which is absolutely beautiful. center this up. And then we'll add this on. And there is the front of our card completed. So give that a press from the other side. All right, now for the inside of this card, I took another piece of Whisper White or Basic White in 3 3/4 by 5, and I pre-stamped 2 of the raspberries, and then the sentiment, "You always have a way of making my day," which also comes from the Berry Blessings. And I used that Stitch with Whimsy die around the edge just to tie everything in. So I'm just going to add this to the inside of my card. And our card is finished. Okay. And then here is the envelope. Stamped a blueberry. And on the back, Happy Mail enclosed. This is a stamp from the Snailed It stamp set. And there you have it. All right. Those are the projects for tonight. Let me clear these out. Give us some room. And I'll bring back in the cards that we made tonight. Okay, so we've got this one. And we've got this one. And then we have our paper pumpkin alternative. This one. Okay. All right. As always, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sharon and Lynette. I'm glad you like them. I had fun making them. Jennifer, not Sharon, what did you say? Not sure what you mean. Not sure what I mean for what. Or was that for someone else? Thanks, Josh. And thanks for joining. Oh, let me move these all over a little bit. I'm struggling with my positioning tonight for some reason. I think I have my camera in a different spot. All right. Responding to the question about the black bar. The black bar. I'm not... Are you talking about this black bar on this card? Okay. I'll message you, Sharon, and see if I can answer you. Okay. As far as next Monday goes, it is Suzanne's birthday next Monday night. So I am not going to plan for a Facebook Live, as I don't know if we're doing cake and ice cream and all that stuff. I know she has the day off, so I'm not sure what the plan is, and I don't want to tell you all that we're having a Facebook Live and then have to cancel. So at this point, there will not be a Facebook Live next week. It will be in 2 weeks. And I hope everybody has a good 2 weeks. Cynthia, thank you for joining me, and thank you for liking the cards. That's awesome. And I will talk to you all soon. As always, if you need to purchase any of the products, you can find them at teresaharper.stampinup.net. Oh, okay. You were responding to the black at the top of the screen. Well, good. I'm glad you guys don't have that because I have this 2-inch black strip at the top of the video. So I can't see that upper portion of the screen. All right. So see you all in 2 weeks. If we're not doing anything next week and I decide to come on, I'll let you all know in ahead of time. Give you a heads up of hopefully at least a half of an hour. And in the meantime, I will see some of you on Saturday. Everybody have a happy Valentine's Day and have a good night. Bye-bye.